Listen, a mother of 3 little kids.
You know how many of those I've seen commit
without a suicide note, without ever telling any human being in the entire world that she was thinking of killing herself?
Let me give you a little primer about suicide, okay? That when people get into that state, it can be thought of, even some psychiatric colleagues of mine have made the argument that it's almost a psychotic state. You are not in reality. You're not of your normal mindset. You're in overwhelming pain. You need the pain to stop now. And it seems like a very appropriate method to make the pain stop. And she's written previous suicide notes, this woman. This is not her. Yes, she's had previous suicidal ideation. The defense also says that Ashley had written suicide's note in the past, Lisa. So she is under psychiatric care. She's had previous depressive episodes. She is tending towards suicide. And suicidality is a funny thing. I mean, some people can have very prominent, capricious suicidal thoughts and impulses that come over them. And again, they're not in their right mind when they do it. They are not thinking about their 3 kids. The same woman that says, and I've seen this many times, that says, I could never, ever, who had suicidal thoughts, she would come to her family, I've seen this many times, go, because of the kids, I could never do this, I could never do it. But when they get in certain states, pow, that's it.
I have very serious reservations with this one. I just don't feel comfortable. His speech is very truthful. The other thing, he does something. He says, I did not shoot her. He says that if you watch more of the interview. I didn't shoot her. When somebody commits a crime and they're guilty, they don't like to use those words. They'll say, I didn't hurt her, I didn't do that. But to say, I didn't shoot, I didn't murder, I didn't kill, those are very emotional words, Dr. Drew. They're motive, and people don't like to say them, especially when they're guilty. When they're innocent, they have no problem saying it. Hey, I didn't rape her. Hey, I didn't shoot her. So there's just a lot of things here going on that I just don't feel comfortable to say that he was part of this.
And I see more than defensiveness and anger. I see desperation. I think that's the primary emotion we see in this man. And I think about this yourself out there. If you were in this position, somebody accused you of this, you'd feel desperate to make yourself hurt.
You say desperation, that you see desperation. I see really bad acting.
Okay.
It just
really
looks ridiculous.
Acting?
I'm sorry, they just told him his wife died. What kind of reaction would you have if somebody told me my spouse died, and then on top of it, they told me that I did it? I would be losing my mind. I would have knocked out that detective.
For 8 years on Court TV, I watched these cases, and it almost always is true that the husband is the one who did it when the wife dies. I'm sorry, the cops try to rule them out. Generally, they can't. And especially when it comes to police, a lot of times they say it was a suicide.